Virginia's big weekend. It's a cherry blossom festival.
All right, that was right up there with the old cowboy thing. But Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid, I'm here with South Dakota Republican Kristi Noem, but it's saying, Congresswoman, that you guys are going to spoil the Cherry Blossom Festival.
I'm not as concerned about the Cherry Blossom Festival as I am about our military men and women. I'm very concerned with.
So not the Cherry Blossom.
Well, not as much as our military men and women that are overseas defending our freedoms. So, I think
Cherry Blossoms take a backseat.
This is truly a perfect opportunity for us to find out what people's priorities are. So I think that you see on the House Republican side, we're trying to take care of our military and put our country back on a better path. So
okay,
that's our priority.
Just to put this in perspective for those who just caught up, the Senate Majority Leader was talking about the government shutting down. You wouldn't have a Cherry Blossom Festival. We're told they'll have it one way or the other, and we'll be here live tomorrow when they do. So rest assured.
Yeah.
Is it your sense that there is a division, no matter what Republicans agree to, Tea Partiers, some of the more conservative members are going to say, hey, you sold out?
I think there is that feeling among a certain group within the conference. My office is certainly hearing that. We're hearing feedback.
What are they telling you? Stick to a number?
People are calling in. They're saying stick to it, that it's really important. Don't compromise because it is important for our future. I mean, you told us in the last election that it was important. And so now this is the time to really hold our ground.
So how would you sell to your constituents what could be a $38 billion number and not the $61 billion number?
Well, I've been telling them that's why we're having this fight. We're absolutely having this discussion because we want those cuts to be as large as possible. Because even if we got the 61 or what we had in H.R. 1, it's 2% of our federal budget.
But you won't get that.
We won't get that.
We won't get that. $38 billion, maybe tops, right?
And absolutely, and that's going to lay in the lap of the Senate Democrats because they were the ones who absolutely were not even a part of this conversation. But when I get a bill in front of me, I'm going to judge that bill by its merits. So it's really hard for me to look at a bill that's sitting there, seeing that it's cutting spending, and if there's not things in there that I disagree with, that's how I'm going to judge my vote. So, but I'm fighting. I'm fighting for those cuts.
So is it fair to say, Congresswoman, your constituents are of a mindset better to shut the government down and sell out on these principles?
I think there's a portion of them. I don't know if it's the
majority
consensus.
Of your constituents?
I don't know if it's the majority because, there's a lot of people in South Dakota, and I certainly haven't heard from them all.
Right.
But there is a portion of them that would like to see us really hold our ground on this. And that's why you see this, us continue to press through, even when the Senate is not taking any action and our president has been AWOL.
Well, how did this Planned Parenthood thing suddenly become an issue? From what I understand, it was in the original resolution.
It was.
Months ago.
Yep.
So how did it become such an issue?
Because the Democrats saw the fact that the American people realized they're responsible for this problem, and so they needed a new message. They needed a new thing. They could stand up in front of the TV cameras and say, well, let's see how we can message this to damage the Republicans, and it's not working. People realize that we're arguing over spending cuts. It's not over the policy. There is policy addressed. Many of those have been decided, but we're fighting over the spending cuts, recognizing that we have to do that.
But in the end, then the focus is on the debt ceiling. And we're going to be doing this all over again.
Yeah. How are they really, we're going to have to get to that point where we have to vote on that debt ceiling. How are they going to sit here and fight so hard not to cut spending? They're fighting to spend more money and then come back and raise that debt ceiling. I don't know how the Democrats over in the Senate can live with that. So we're going to have to reform this place, and it's going to be a battle, but we're up to the game. We're up to the job.
All right, and hopefully you're up to a late night.
Yes,
it's going to be a very late night.
Yeah, we're pretty resilient. So,
Congresswoman, thank you very, very much. All right, a number of